when you have a player that is terrorizing quarterbacks each and every week, do not let the contract holdouts drag on. You reward him. You lock him down. You build around him. Guys, the Bengals front office keeps talking about how much they materialize a raise, right? They materialize a raise and express optimism, but the deal would happen. And what we've been hearing for the weeks now is all surface level politicking and a clock and ticking forward on the regular season. The longer this drags out, guys, the more it becomes a distraction. You cannot afford that with a defense that needs to be sharp and aggressive from day one. And let's not forget, this is not just about money at the day. It's about respect. It's about trust. Trey Hendrickson has put in the work. He has trained hard. He has stayed ready. He is committed to the team. He's doing everything he can to be not the distraction. And yet, here we are, still waiting on negotiations to conclude. If you are Trey, how do you feel? You want to be secure. You want to know your value is recognized, and you want a peace of mind that focuses on football. That's what it's all about. Guys, the Bengals cannot afford to lose momentum and let contract drama fester in the locker room with champion aspirations. Trey Hendrickson isn't just a player. He's a cornerstone of that defense, a leader on the field, and a player who can change the course of the games, if not the season. Every second this contract drags on, the Bengals are risking more than just a player sitting out. They're risking the team morale and the defensive dominance. So Bengals, enough with the games. Sign Trey Hendrickson now. Show him the respect he has earned. Lock him in. Give this defense the stability and star power it needs to be a force in 2025. Because when you have a guy like Trey Hendrickson on the side, you don't let contract drag on. You get it done, and you get ready to win. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhatcher here with the Man Hour, guys. Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk, guys. Before we get too carried away, let's dive into the action. Let's hit up. Check out manhourradio.com, guys. Check out manhourradio.com. That's where you can grab all your exclusive merchandise, check out our latest blogs, and stay up to date everything what we're doing over here at the Man Hour. So if you're repping the Man Hour, guys, that's the place to do it. Do not hit the like button, share button, of course, subscribe down below. This is a live interactive show. I want to hear your comments, hear your thoughts, and your hottest of the hottest takes, because I'm all about conversation at the end of the day. But guys, wait, there is even more. You become a Pigskin Pundit. Hit the subscribe button down below. That's our members-only community where you get free entry into all of our weekly NFL Pick'em giveaways, our exclusive merch, and of course giveaways as well. And you get access to the afternoon drives, our pigskin-only live streams. So guys, I am all combobbled today because I am excited because we're talking about the AFC West, baby. We are talking about arguably one of the best divisions in football. That is the LA Chargers. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. Put some respect on their name. The Denver Broncos trash. And of course, the Las Vegas Raiders. But guys, before we get too carried away into today's show, let's welcome some people in the chat. Let's welcome my man Alpha Rob. Says, Buck, fix your damn mic, brother. Sorry, man. I'm rookie mode. It is hump day. I'm excited. Tomorrow's preseason. I was flustered. No, actually, I was jamming out to some Tech 9 before. I was, drop a little freestyle, pick, and I don't want you guys to hear it, just in case. But yeah, I do got the mic unmuted now, guys. I will re-record that opening rant, and then I'll obviously post it over there on youtube.com/man, and of course facebook.com. Over there on the red team and the blue team, we get it up there as well. Then we got my man Derek in the chat today. What's up, Derek? We see you, big man. Derek is a Las Vegas Raiders fan, so guys, feel sorry for Derek. Feel sorry for Derek because he's going to have a long year. Derek's going to have a long year, and I'm going to be sitting here. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Actually, Derek, when we talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, there is going to be some shocks. I think there's going to be some shocks, in my final picks, and let's waste no more time. Let's waste no more time, and let's get directly into it, and let's start off with the team that I think could potentially make some noise in the AFC West and potentially pull off the upset of all upsets. And it is time to talk about Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers. Guys, the Chargers are a team that just might finally be ready to deliver on all that talent that they have been building the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 years. Now, this is year 2 underneath Harbaugh, and that means expectations are sky high because they did make the playoffs last season. Justin Herbert has a full season under the new regime, and the defense looks loaded with speed, youth, and power. So, guys, let's flash back to 2 months ago. I had the Chargers as a 10-win team, but I want to tell you guys, things have shifted. Things have shook up, and, honestly, I am kind of stepped back by the LA Chargers just a little bit. But guys, let's go game by game, week by week, and see how far the Bolts can really go in 2025. So weeks 1 through 4, I'm going to call this quarter of the season a strong start. I'm going to call this a strong start because week 1, they do play the Chiefs on Friday night in Brazil. This is a neutral site game, even though it's a Chargers home game, but it doesn't matter. Guys, the Chargers are fired up in this game, and they get out fast out of the gate. Harbaugh has a history of week 1 statement wins, and this season is no different. They get a statement win over the Kansas City Chiefs in Brazil, week 1, opening Friday night primetime game down there in Brazil. Start the season off 1-0. And then week number 2, they travel back to the United States of America. They head over to Las Vegas, and they take on the Raiders. A divisional road, guys, are never easy, but the Chargers are going to go to Vegas, and they are going to take care of business, baby, giving them yet another win on the season. And then week number 3, guys, the train keeps on cooking as they come back home for their first home game of the season, first true home game of the season, taking on the Denver Broncos. Guys, I think the Denver Broncos defense is going to take a step back this season just a little bit, especially with all the injuries starting to pile up here during preseason, and Justin Herbert takes advantage. Give me a 3-0 start for the LA Chargers. And then week number 4, they travel across the continental United States of America to head over to New Jersey and MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Football Giants. This is a long travel week, yes. This has been a long travel month, yes. But the Giants team is just too physical up front. They're too good, and they're too young, and they are built to win a lot of these games. Give me a sluggish win, but they do beat the Giants, giving them a 4-0 start to the first 4 weeks of the season. Guys, the Bulls are perfect. They start perfect. Everybody's talking about how good the LA Chargers are right now. They have a top 5 offense and a defense that creates chaos in the backfield. Confidence is high in LA. But weeks 5 through 9, we have a little bit of reality check. The midseason reality check happens come week 5 because they travel back home to take on the Washington Commanders. Guys, this is a slip-up game. The Commanders come out physical, and they catch LA off guard. I'm not saying the Commanders are bad. I'm not saying their Chargers are bad. This is going to be a great game, but the Commanders outlast the Chargers in the fourth quarter, giving them the first loss of the season. And week number 6, the Chargers travel all the way back across the continental United States to Florida, Miami, Florida, to take on the Dolphins. They've been traveling a lot the first 7-8 weeks of the season. And this one, in the heat and the humidity of Miami, Justin Herbert struggles late, and the Miami Dolphins get the win. So after a 4-0 start, the reality check, the season is starting to be like, oh, okay, wait a second. Maybe this season is going to be a little difficult, but week number 7, they come back home, they get back on track, and they get a win over a not-so-great Indianapolis Colts team. Let's just be flat out honest about that. And then week number 8, they finally have back-to-back home games, finally get a chance to relax and not be so jet-lagged, and the LA Chargers take advantage of the Minnesota Vikings shaky offensive line and second-year/rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy, giving them 2 straight wins. But then week number 9, this is a trap game. This is a trap game where they travel to Tennessee to take on the Tennessee Titans. The Titans play bully ball and keep Herbert off the field, a.k.a. run the damn ball. They don't have Derrick Henry, but they still got a pretty decent backfield, and the Titans control the clock, and they get an upset win in this trap game. So through the first 9 weeks, guys, I do have the Chargers sitting at 6-3. Still a very, very strong record. But a couple of tough physical teams expose some weaknesses in the trenches, but they get things right, because this weeks 10 through 14 is a very crucial part of their season. In week 10, they're back at home taking on the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers comes into town, but the Chargers are rolling at home. The Chargers handle business and make the Pittsburgh Steelers look silly at the end of the day. Week 11, they go back across the continental United States yet again. I feel like they should have airline miles because they're going to get free flights at this point, but they play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Traveling cross-country into a hostile environment at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on East Coast time. That's 10 o'clock California time, right? This one slips away. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game and the Chargers losing. Heading into a Week 12 bye week. Perfect timing for them because the Chargers have been a little bit exposed. They know what their strengths are. They know what their weaknesses are. A Week 12 bye week is perfect for a team that's looking to make a late postseason run. And I think that's exactly what the Chargers can do, because Week 13, coming off the bye, a divisional game at home. Hello, Las Vegas Raiders. Hello, beat down, baby. Bring that ass here, boy, because the Chargers are going to beat the Raiders' booties black and blue. They're going to be a beatdown. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a 35-point win at the end of the day. And then Week 14, they're back at home yet again. I believe this is a Monday night game. This is a statement game. The Philadelphia Eagles come into town, and the Chargers overwhelm a team that has taken a step back defensively. That's right. You heard it here first. The Eagles will take a step back this season, and the Chargers do beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 14. So through the first 14 weeks of the season, guys, I had the Chargers sitting at 9-4. They are a playoff-bound team. They are a winning team. And the Chargers are on the right, and they're right in the thick of it in the AFC playoff race. Hell, they might even be winning the West at this particular point. Jim Harbaugh has this team disciplined and very, very optimistic, but the final 4 games of the season, you have a little bit of reality check. You are playing potentially 4 playoff teams to end the season. And Week 15, when you travel to Arrowhead in December, it is a very, very tough ask. I think the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Chargers in Week 15, giving the Chargers their 4th or 5th loss of the season. And then Week 16, they're back on the road yet again, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. This is a short work week, back-to-back tough road games. This is a letdown game. They have a 2-game losing streak at this particular time. But then Week 17, a potential playoff matchup, right? A potential preview of what we saw last year is the Houston Texans, but this time out LA. This is a bounce back real game for the LA Chargers. And the Chargers dominate up front and sit down the Houston Texans like the baby back bitches that they are. And then Week 18, they travel to Denver. The Denver's defense just isn't the same in Week 18. The LA closes the season strong with a 2-game winning streak, with the final win over the Denver Broncos come Week 18. So, guys, the LA Chargers, I have them finishing 11-6. That is a playoff team. That is a team that is just dangerous enough to knock off anybody in January. And this is a team that could win the AFC West. Hell, I have them actually tied for the AFC West here in 2020-25. But let's talk about the ceilings and the floor for the LA Chargers. Because when you think about this team has a very, very high floor. To be honest, they have a very high floor. 7 wins is expected out of the LA Chargers this season. If everything falls apart, if Justin Herbert goes down, if Lad McConkey is out, 7 wins is definitely a gimme, right? This defense is nasty, and just the running game is top notch, right? But if they sweep through the division and they avoid some upsets against weaker teams, the ceiling is 13 wins for the LA Chargers. No question about it. Jim Harbaugh has the blueprint, and it's up to the squad to execute, right? So, guys, let me ask you this question. Do you think the LA Chargers are legit AFC contenders in year 2 underneath Harbaugh, or will they fold under pressure yet again? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here on your said platform. Now, this is a live interactive show, guys, so comment down below and let me hear your thoughts on the 2025 Chargers outlook. Let's jump into the comments and see what you guys are thinking. Derek says, I got some good sunglasses in the sunglasses tan lotion. The future is bright. Woo, slow it down, Derek. There's some kids in the chat, brother. There's some kids. They don't want to be seeing you in your Speedo. They don't want to be seeing you in your oiling up. Slow it down, baby. But Alpha Rob says the Chargers go 10-7. They need more firepower on offense to go to the next level. And honestly, Alpha Rob, this is kind of where I struggled with the LA Chargers, because Mike Williams, I thought, was going to be a nice little additional piece to them, right? Be a nice addition to Quentin Johnson, to Ladd McConkey, to Justin Herbert, right? To that Jim Harbaugh system. But he's like, I'm retired. I am done. Now, there's still some free agents out there that they could sign. Amari Cooper, still a free agent. Keenan Allen, still a free agent. There's some other pieces that they still can add. Najee Harris, addition. Hopefully he plays. I think that could be enough firepower to get them to that next level. But 10, 11 wins, I think we're kind of on the same page. Now, the 13-win ceiling, everything has to click. Justin Herbert has to be a top 5 quarterback. Najee Harris has to be 100%. The receiving core has to catch balls, right? It's just will it is. It is what it is. Pigskin Pundit, John is in the chat. What's up, John?
Pigskin Pun. Get you some.
He says, what up, what up, what up? What's up, John? Hope they have a good old day. And Alpha Rob says Gabe Davis is still out there as well. I forgot about Gabe Davis. Why has nobody signed Gabe Davis yet? Oh, because it's not that good. There's a reason why he's been released by the Jaguars, right? He signed that big lucrative deal. Jaguars like, see ya, buddy. We don't want you. But yes, Gabe Davis is still out there. And Gabe Davis is not a number 1 receiver, but he would be a good additional piece. A number 2, number 3, potentially a number 4 guy. You never really know where Gabe Davis slides in. But yes, he is definitely would make a difference, right? Derek says Adams might want to get away from Jimmy G. We will talk about the NFC North and the Rams next week. But yes, if you guys did not hear, Devontae Adams says, hey, I don't like you, Jimmy G. He flat out said it. But guys, the truth is that I think the Chargers are going to be a very, very good team. But guys, it is Wednesday, and every Wednesday we do a thing called Cold Hard Facts. And let's get into the cold hard facts of the LA Chargers. That's right, guys. Some cold hard facts, guys. We cut through the BS, and I tell you what the cold hard facts are all about. And the truth is, guys, the cold hard facts for the LA Chargers is if Najee Harris is not ready by week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Chargers are in trouble, period. Guys, let's just be honest. Let's be honest about this. This isn't just about a running back missing the game. This is about Jim Harbaugh's entire offense identity. The Chargers didn't sign Najee Harris to be a flashy. They signed him to pound the damn rock, control the clock, and take pressure off of Justin Herbert in key moments. But right now, the whole plan is hanging by a thread or by an eyeball. Let's just be honest, guys. Najee is still on the NFI list, sidelined with an eye injury from a firework mishap back on July 4th. Yep, fireworks. He hasn't seen a rep all camp long. He is not active, and if he's not active before the final cuts, he's out for at least the first 4 games of the regular season. That means no Najee Harris come week 1 in Brazil versus the best team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. That is a massive problem. Why? Because without Najee Harris, the Chargers have to lean on heavily on the rookie Omar Hampton. And don't get me wrong, Hampton is promising. He is strong, he's quick, he plays the edge. But are you trusting a rookie to be a tone setter against the Kansas City Chiefs and Chris Jones in that nasty front seven under the international spotlight? Slow it down, baby. That's asking for a lot, maybe a little bit too much. Guys, this week one game has always been physical, and it's going to be all about who controls the line of scrimmage. And now the Chargers may be entering without the battle with their battling Ram. So let me be very, very clear about this. Guys, if Najee Harris does not suit up, the entire offense balance shifts. Herbert's going to have to air it out more than Jim Harbaugh wants, and that plays into Kansas City Chiefs' hands. The Chiefs want it to turn into a shootout. They want Justin Herbert to drop back. They want Chris Jones to go put that baby back bitch in the dirt, and they've done it before, and they'll do it again. Guys, if the Chargers can't run effectively early in the game, it could be a long, long night in Brazil. So the hard facts of the LA Chargers, guys, is Najee Harris has to be on the field for them to win 11, 12, 13 games this season. If Najee Harris is out week one, you guys down below, do you trust Hampton to carry the load, or should the LA Chargers make a late move to pick up a veteran running back? Because they still got Zeke, right? So, guys, those are the cold, hard facts. Cold, hard facts. Alrighty, guys. So we just talked about the LA Chargers. I gave you your cold hard facts about them, but now let's move on to one of the most interesting teams in the AFC West, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders. We're diving into one of the most unpredictable teams. Matter of fact, not the West, the whole entire NFL, baby. Guys, the Las Vegas Raiders, it is time to break down their full 2025 schedule and predict the wins and losses. And I'll say it right now. 2 months ago, I had this team as a not very good team. Fix, camera, fix. I had them as a 5-win team, actually, average at best. But after watching training camp, after getting a good look at Geno Smith leading the offense, I think they might be building something there. I think they might be building something in New York. In Vegas. I like what Pete Carroll's doing. I like the running game. I like the defense. I like Geno. There's a little bit more swag forming in Vegas. The talent isn't elite. Let's not get crazy, but it is competitive. They have a little bit of mojo. The problem with the Raiders right off the bat is this camera won't fix. There we go. Is they have a gauntlet of a schedule. They have a gauntlet of a schedule. Every time you guys think the Raiders can stack momentum, boom, here comes another juggernaut. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Commanders. It is relentless week after week after week. They have game after game after game that potentially could be a Super Bowl preview. But let's lock in the picks and see where they land. And week 1 through 4, guys, this is an early gut check for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is an early gut check because the season does not quite start off the way we think they're going to start. Because week 1, they travel to New England to take on the Mike Vrabel Patriots. Guys, Bill Belichick may be gone, but Foxborough in week 1 is always tough. Geno Smith's debut does not go smoothly heading back over to the East Coast. He knows the Patriots well. The Patriots know him well. Bada bing, bada boom, equals a loss. Week number 2, they're back at home. Home opener. Geno Smith's first game in Vegas. Pete Carroll's first game in Vegas versus the LA Chargers. But Jim Harbaugh's Chargers are clicking and the Raiders secondary isn't ready. Another loss. 0-2 to start the season. And then week number 3. Hey, we got an easy game coming, right? We got an easy game. No. You travel back to the East Coast to take on the Washington Commanders. Dan Quinn's Washington Commanders defense is going to cause problems, and the Vegas can't move the ball effectively, giving them an 0-3 start to start the season. That is tough, baby. That is tough. But bounce back game is coming. Week number 4, they're at home, taking on the Chicago Bears, and this is a bounce back game. Geno Smith finds the rhythm, and the Raiders get the 1 in the win column, giving Geno Smith his first win as a Las Vegas Raider. Now, weeks through the first 4 weeks, guys, 1 win. 1 win, 3 losses. But you have to realize they played potentially 3 playoff teams. The Chargers, the Commanders, and the Patriots. potentially 3 playoff teams and 3 playoff losses. They are not as bad as their record indicates, but week 5 through 8, they're still fighting for their identity. Because week number 5, they traveled to Indy to take on a very scrappy Indianapolis Colts team. Guys, it is always tough to play in Indianapolis. At Lucas Oil Stadium, it is just obnoxiously loud all the time. But the Indianapolis Colts are just a little bit more physical up front in this game, and Vegas drops a tough one. I will be at this game. Week 6, though, they do go back home, and they play the Tennessee Titans. This is a game that the Raiders should win, and they do win. A balanced attack, good defense, and I think their running game finally starts to show its rear head of how good they can actually be, giving them a win. Now we're thinking they're building, they're rebuilding, they've established some rhythm. You think, hey, we can win 1, 2, 3 games in a row. Not so fast. This is where the gauntlet of the schedule starts to happen, because right after you get a nice, easy, nice, good win over the Tennessee Titans, boom, week 7, you travel to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not happening in Kansas City. Arrowhead, Mahomes, primetime stage, it is a loss. It is yet another loss, giving us a week 8 bye week. Now, they have, 2, 3 wins at this particular point? 2 wins, right? 2 wins after the bye week. Let's not get crazy. Let's slow it down, baby. They have had some tough games. The Commanders, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Colts, right? They've had some tough games. This is where everything starts to swing up for the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders historically play bad 8 games and good for 8 games, right? They're always good for one half of the season if history prevails, right? And this midseason swing, I think this is where they start to really prevail, because week number 9, they're back at home, take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence gets picked off twice, and the Raiders come out strong after the bye week. Geno Smith looks like a top 10 quarterback. It is a dominant victory, but then week 10, it does not get any easier, because as you travel to Mile High Stadium to take on the Denver Broncos, a tough divisional game on the road. After a huge win, the Vegas let this one slip away late. It is an ugly 9-6 win for the Denver Broncos, giving them yet another loss on the season. But then week number 11, this is big upset alert week. Circle week 11, because when the Dallas Cowboys come to town, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to upset the Dallas Cowboys. The Raiders have just enough on both sides of the ball to upset the Dallas Cowboys. This is a Dallas Cowboys team that's a very, very good Dallas Cowboys team. A Super Bowl caliber Dallas Cowboys team. That's a huge upset. And that momentum finally carries over to week 12 as they're back at home yet again, taking on the Cleveland Browns. By week 12, the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation has yet to stabilize. The Vegas Raiders take advantage, and they win. Max Crosby could have 5, 6, 7 sacks in this game alone. But the gauntlet of the schedule rears its hairy head yet again, because week 13, they travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. The second meeting, and the Chargers are still the better team. The Chargers sweep the season series, giving the Raiders yet another loss. Now, weeks 14 through 18 is a very, very tough finish. They have a potential to win 5 games, but this is a gauntlet of a schedule. Well, they start off week 14 at home, taking on the Denver Broncos, and the Raiders do get revenge, and they beat the Denver Broncos at home, splitting the series. Then week 15, they travel to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. They have no shot here. The Philly dominates in the trenches. They dominate from the snap to the last snap. The Raiders should just probably forfeit this game. It might be better off. Week 16, travel to Houston to take on the Texans. The Houston Texans got talent, but the Raiders grind this one out in a surprise win with another upset win of sweeping by sweeping Texas teams by beating the Cowboys and the Texans in week 16. Week 17, they're back at home, and Vegas just comes out flat. They just come out flat versus the New York Football Giants. They are ready to pack away this season, even though they still have playoffs. They're still in that playoff hunt. They have 7 wins. They win the final 2 games of the season. They're in the playoffs, but they come out flat. It's a trap game, and they pay for it. The Giants win, knocking them out of playoff contention, and then giving them a week 18 home game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This game will get flexed to the 1 o'clock game because it won't matter, but the Kansas City Chiefs are still playing for a little bit of playoff playoff position seeding, the Raiders can't hang, and they lose. So, guys, I do have the Las Vegas Raiders improving to 7-10 this season. 2 months ago, I had them as a 5-win team. This team has shown signs of life during training camp. Geno Smith has been better than expected. The locker room is buying into Pete Carroll's system. They're not elite, but they are scrappy, and they're dangerous if they get overlooked. Their schedule just sucks. They have a gauntlet of a schedule. Now, the floor for the Las Vegas Raiders, I think, is 5 wins. I think no matter how bad they play, they can still get 5 wins. They should be able to beat teams like the Browns, Titans, and Broncos at least once. But if things truly click, they will upset a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. They will upset a team like the Chargers. They will upset a team like the Eagles or the Commanders. Guys, the ceiling potentially is 10 wins for the Las Vegas Raiders. That is a wide range for this squad. They could be a losing team or they could be a winning team. They could be a first overall pick or they could be a playoff team. That is a wide range for Geno Smith and the Las Vegas Raiders. But guys, the question for you guys down in the chat below, what's the Raiders' true ceiling this season? Are they actually building something or are they stuck in neutral? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, this is a live interactive show, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here, said platform that you're listening to us on. Now, like I said, this is a live interactive show, so let me get into your comments and see what you guys are all talking about. Unjudged Charger will be 9-8. I must admit that one. Sorry. Stick with what they got. Alpha Rob says, whoa, slow down, baby. The Raiders are 6-11 team. They still the worst team in the AFC West. Alpha Rob, I see your Raiders, and I'm going to raid you the Broncos. But we'll see. We'll see. Derek says, when we win, he says, let me be clear. When we win, we can say we beat everyone that mattered. They're going to go 13-4, says Derek. Derek says the Raiders will go 13-4 this season. Derek, who are your 4 losses? Who are your four losses? Because if you say you're going to sweep the division, that's tough, baby. That is tough. If you say you're going to beat a team like the Commanders and the Eagles, that's tough. Who are your 4 losses? Because me personally, I think you guys got a gauntlet of a schedule. Play the Chargers twice. You play the Commanders. You play the Colts at Indianapolis. If it was a home game, that should be an easy win, right? You play the Chiefs twice. You play the Cowboys. You play the Eagles. You play the Texans. You play the Giants. You got a tough schedule. Got a tough schedule. And Angie's in the chat. What's up, Angie? She says 8-9 for the Las Vegas Raiders. That's tough, baby. That is tough. But guys, what are you guys' thoughts? Post them down below. Let's get into the cold hard facts for the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, guys. So the cold hard facts for the Las Vegas Raiders is pretty cut and simple. Max Crosby is the default general manager. Max Crosby is the owner. Max Crosby is the coach. Max Crosby is the best player on the team. No, seriously, guys. If you have not been paying attention to how things have played out over the past few months, it's obvious who holds the true power inside the Las Vegas Raiders building. It's not Pete Carroll. It's not the ownership. It's not the general manager. It's not the front office. It's Max freaking Crosby. Let's start with the headline story. Kristen Wilkins gone, cut loose, released, out. Why? Not because of the foot injury. Do not get that twisted. Not because of the foot injury. It is because allegedly, he leaned in for a kiss and kissed Max Crosby on the forehead. The buzz is it was a playful moment, depending on who you ask. But one clearly did not sit well with someone in the room. Allegedly, Max Crosby himself. They said it was a $100 million man. That moment sparked an HR complaint and a internal investigation. The next thing you know, the man with the $110 million contract, $84 million guaranteed, is out the door like yesterday's trash. And this isn't about the kiss. Let's just be real. Wilkins was already on rocky ground with how he was handling the rehab for his foot injury. The Raiders voided the remaining $35.2 million of this deal when they even cut him. But if you don't think Max Crosby had his hand in this, or at least the dominoes falling, you haven't been watching closely enough. So let me be clear for the people in the back. Max Crosby is not the problem. The problem is the only consistent voice in the building. He is the only leader in the building. He is the owner, the general manager, and the best player on the team. The Raiders keep going through coaches, coordinators, and front office dramas, and now major free agents, all while Max Crosby is planted right in the middle, untouched and powerful than ever. We have seen this movie before. When a star player becomes a heart and soul and the last word of the franchise, it can either inspire a championship run or lead to unchecked power and checks in the foundation. Now, I'm not saying Crosby went full emperor mode here, but the team only makes moves if he nods. Christian Wilkins learned the hard way. Guys, the cold hard facts are that Max Crosby is the end-all, be-all in Las Vegas. Write it down, baby! All right, guys, so let me hear your thoughts about this. Is Max Crosby the end-all, be-all in Las Vegas? Is he the man, the myth, the legend? Is he the emperor? Is he the Greek god? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Derek says he put a kissing booth in the shower. What? Is that true? My man said, let's go to the shower and kiss. Now, guys, do not get it twisted. This is the same Christian Wilkins when he was back in Clemson that put a finger in the booty hole. In the middle of the football field on national television, he tackled a guy, boop, finger in the booty hole. Watch it. Go look it up. Christian Wilkins, Clemson, finger in the booty hole. Look it up. Alpha Rob says, not surprised by Wilkins. He also had the ball grabbing problem when he was with the Finns. Listen, the man's freaking weird. This is the biggest what if in NFL history. What if Wilkins could be on the field with Max Crosby? What if the Las Vegas Raiders were not such a clusterfuck? What if Max Crosby could have just went out there and dominated and not had to been the general manager and the owner and the head coach and the social media person? What if, right? At the end of the day, guys, Max Crosby is the end-all, be-all in Vegas. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, baby. But now, let's talk about the team that's been running the AFC West for a while. No. Let's just be real. They've been running the NFL for the past half decade, and that's the one and only Kansas City Chiefs. But guys, when we break down the 2025 schedule, here's one thing that's been sitting on my mind. Is the grind of the last 5, 6, 7 seasons starting to catch up with the Kansas City Chiefs? Tonight, we're breaking down the 2025 win and loss predictions for Patrick Mahomes and company. And for the first time in a long time, the early season outlook isn't so bright for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, guys, let's go week by week and break down the Kansas City Chiefs. Week number 1, weeks 1 through 4, guys, I'm going to classify this as the brutal opening stretch because it is not nice on paper if you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Hell, if you are a fan of the NFL and you see if what happens, the NFL will be like, oh, the Chiefs are done. The dynasty is done because week number 1, they travel to Brazil. They take on the LA Chargers. The international travel is Jim Harbaugh's second year with the Chargers team, and the Chiefs season starts with the tough one, and that is a tough loss to the LA Chargers. It is what it is. They started the season 0-1. Now they've done this before. They bounce back, but we'll see what happens. Week number 2, back at Arrowhead Stadium. Super Bowl rematch, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles come in off of extra rest, and the Kansas City Chiefs come back jet lagged from Brazil. That is a recipe for disaster. The Eagles give the Chiefs the second loss of their season, starting off the season 0-2. And then week number 3, it does not get any easier for the Kansas City Chiefs because they got to travel to the East Coast to take on the New York Football Giants. This is a trap game, more like a wake-up call. The Giants pull it off at home, and the Kansas City Chiefs start 0-3. What is going on in Kansas City? Lost to the Chargers, Eagles, and Giants? Slow it down, baby. But guess what? Week 4, it does not get any easier. They're back at home, taking on a potential Super Bowl favorite in the Baltimore Ravens. But the Kansas City Chiefs finally get a right game. The Kansas City Chiefs get a hash in the left column, giving them the first win of the season. The defense dominates in this game, and Patrick Mahomes delivers when it matters most, giving them the Chiefs to win over the Ravens. Now, weeks 5 through 9, I'm classifying this as a survival mode, right? There's right now they're sitting at 1-3. The Chargers are sitting at 4-0. Everything is clicking, right? Everything is like, oh man, what is going on? They have lost the dominance of the AFC, but slow it down, baby. Because week 5, just like the Chargers, they're traveling everywhere. They travel back to the East Coast to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence tries to make it interesting, but the Chiefs settle in and they get the dub. Now, week 6, I've gone back and forth on this game a lot. 2 months ago, I had the Chiefs winning this game. Last week, I had them losing the game. This morning, I had them winning a game. But today, I'm fine putting pen to paper. Week 6, the Detroit Lions coming to Arrowhead Stadium, and the Chiefs lose to the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell's crew shows no fear in Arrowhead. It is a fight, and the Chiefs drop another game. Give me the loss. But then week number 7, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting, right? Week 7, taking on division foe, Las Vegas Raiders coming to Arrowhead Stadium. There is no surprise here. The Kansas City Chiefs handle business at home, and they get on track, and they carry that track in the momentum into week 8 when the Commanders come into town. Washington Commanders are a top team in the NFC. The Washington Commanders are the bee's knees. The Washington Commanders are clicking on all cylinders, but guess what? Patrick Mahomes lights it up. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL for a reason. The Kansas City Chiefs have a top 10 defense in the NFL for a reason, and they get this win. Week number 9. A little bit of reality check, right? This one slips away late. The Buffalo Bills get the edge at home. The Chiefs travel to Buffalo, and the Bills win yet again in the regular season over the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, week 10, bye week. Much needed bye week. Physically, mentally, this team has been playing extra season worth of games the last 4 years, and this break hits different. This is all right. We got through the gauntlet. We got through all the haters. We got through it. Now let's focus on us. Let's focus on us. Let's recharge and get things rolling. And that's exactly what they do week 11. Coming out of the bye week, Andy Reid is nearly undefeated after bye weeks, and it continues when they travel to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton has them competing, but the Kansas City Chiefs are back in rhythm. The Kansas City Chiefs dominate the Denver Broncos at home. And then week 12, at home, take on the Indianapolis Colts, a potential trap game, but Mahomes avoids the slip and the defense locks up, giving them 2 wins in a row. And then week 13, Thanksgiving Day, when they travel to Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving afternoon. Tough environment. The Dallas Cowboys have the upper hand here. A Super Bowl preview, wink, wink, but the Dallas Cowboys do get the edge over the Kansas City Chiefs. But then week 14, they do play the Houston Texans at Arrowhead Stadium. CJ Stroud is a problem, but Arrowhead is louder than ever, and the Chiefs get it done. Give me another win. Now, week 15 through 18, right now, they are a wild card team. Matter of fact, they might be on the outside looking in. They need to win out to win the division to make a playoff stuck, and I think they finish strong. And it starts week 15 with the LA Chargers. It's revenge games back from week 1. Mahomes doesn't get swept by anyone in the AFC West ever. They win this game. Week 16, they travel to Nashville to take on the Titans. I'll be at this game. December football for the Kansas City Chiefs. They get things done, and the Tennessee Titans are wore down by halftime. Give me the Chiefs win this one as well. Week 17, they're back at home. Divisional matchup, take on the Denver Broncos. The Kansas City Chiefs dominate late season games. The Broncos do not have a chance. And then week 18, on the road, taking on the Vegas Raiders. We could be seating on the line. The Chiefs show up and handle it. They get the win. So, guys, I think the Kansas City Chiefs finished the regular season 11-6. That is enough to stay in the mix in the AFC West, but it is not dominant. And that's the cold, hard truth. The truth is that the extra games are starting to catch up with the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chargers are starting to catch up as well. 2 months ago, I had them locked in as a 12-win team, but flipping the Eagles game and the Lions game made the early differences. Coming back from Brazil, that is a tough turnaround. They start slow, and that start slow should cost them some playoff seeding, but we'll see. Now, when we talk about floors and ceiling for the Kansas City Chiefs, the floor for this team is 9 wins. I think no matter how bad they play, they're still a 9-win team. Even tired, banged up, Mahomes guarantees you a winning season. Period. End of story. Now the ceiling. This team could still win 14, 15 games. If they come out hot and they flip those early season games versus the Chargers, versus the Eagles, versus the Lions, you're looking at a number 1 seed contender yet again. So guys, let me say this again. If the Kansas City Chiefs start slow, do not panic. We have seen this script before. The Chiefs sleepwalk early, they get doubted, and then boom, another Super Bowl run, baby. So guys, question down below. The question for the people down there in the chat, you guys, do you think the Chiefs, our championship window is still wide open, or have they finally starting to see the toll of those late, deep playoff runs? Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. East Coast time right here on said platform. Now, this is a live, interactive show, guys, so comment down below your thoughts on the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs outlook. Let me jump into the comments. Let's see here. Angie says the Chiefs win the division. Again, Angie, right now, I have the Chargers sitting at 11-6. I have the Kansas City Chiefs sitting at 11-6. It is going to come down to the tiebreaker. It is going to come down to like opponents' schedule. And right now, the Kansas City Chiefs do edge out the Chargers because of the tiebreakers. Bada bing, bada boom. Yes, another divisional win. Alpha Rob says 12-5. I don't think they get those lucky bounces. And Alpha Rob, I think you are correct. Was it last year? Was it last year or 2 years ago? The seasons are starting to run together when they were undefeated, right? When they blocked the field goal against the Broncos. When old mustache boy from the Raiders, what is his name? I'm forgetting his name. Derek, help me out. Your quarterback from Purdue. When he fumbled the pass, right? It just the Kansas City Chiefs got lucky last season. The ball bounced their way a lot of the times. You were 100% correct, Alpha Rob. I will give you that. They definitely had the ball bounce their way a lot. Now, this season, they may not be so lucky. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Derek says, I'll give them 9 wins if healthy, at least. And he says, goodbye, Andy Reid. So Derek says they'll get lucky to get 9 wins. If they stay 100%, if Rashid Rice stays out of jail, if Xavier Worthy stops banging his head on the goalpost, if Patrick Mahomes stays upright, 9 wins for the Kansas City Chiefs. But on the flip side, Derek says if they don't stay healthy, Andy Reid's getting fired. Fired, retired, whatever, forced out. Goodbye, Andy Reid. That is tough. Aiden O'Connell. There you go. AOC. Thank you. Thank you, Derek. But come on. Fire my man, Andy Reid. Fire my man, Andy Reid. Somebody get your boy. What's the one I want? Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. There you go. Whatever. That's it. All right, guys. So this is Cold Hard Facts Wednesday. Next up on the Cold Hard Facts, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, it's simple. The cold hard fact for the Kansas City Chiefs is Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what your fantasy football spreadsheet says. I don't care what the box scores tells you in week 8 versus in a random season versus the random teams. Use your eyes and use your gut and use the eye test. Guys, look, I get it. His stats do not always pop off the page like Josh Allen's or Lamar Jackson's, or he lights up the scoreboard like CJ Stroud's breakout game. There are years where someone else throws more touchdowns, someone else racks up more yards, but no one, and I mean no one, does it better when it matters more than Patrick Mahomes. You know it. I know it. The league knows it. And if you're being honest, there's not another quarterback that you trust more, the game on the line, than Patrick freaking Mahomes, baby. 4 minutes left in the game. Game on the line. 1 possession. Who do you want? Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait. Do you want Lamar Jackson? No. You want Josh Allen? No. You want Matthew Stafford? No. You want Dak Prescott? No. You want Patrick freaking Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes passes the eye test. He passes the gut check, and he passes the legacy test. He just has it. This man has turned the impossible into routine. We've seen him win shootouts. We've seen him win ugly. We've seen him with elite weapons. We've seen him with the rookie and practice squad receivers. It doesn't matter. Mahomes shows up when it counts. Ask the Eagles, ask the 49ers, ask the Bengals, ask every team that thought they had him beat. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, ask the Buffalo Bills. Alpha Rob 13 seconds, baby. And that's the thing. It's not just about what Patrick Mahomes does. It's about what he makes everyone else around him believe. No matter the situation, no matter the opponent, if it's 15 is under center, we got a chance, baby. So yes, the numbers may dip from time to time. The receiver room may be in question mark. The O-line might shuffle around, but the one thing says the same. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League, period. So guys, who is the best quarterback in the NFL? Who do you want the ball with 4 minutes left on the game, needing a touchdown to win? And why is it still Patrick Mahomes? Guys, those are the cold, hard facts. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, we've talked about the Raiders. We've talked about the Chiefs. We've talked about the Chargers. Now it is time to dive into the 2025 Denver Broncos win-loss prediction schedule breakdown. Guys, and the truth, this team is odd. This team is weird. Heading into Sean Payton's second year, I don't know where to put the Denver Broncos. Let's not sugarcoat this. 2 months ago, I had the squad at 4 wins. I did not like the offense. I thought the defense overperformed. It wasn't hate. It was just pure honesty. But now, I see a little bit more of the light at the end of the tunnel. So let's break down the schedule and see how many wins Broncos country can actually expect in 2025. Weeks 1 through 4, I'm going to label this the mixed start. Mixed start because week 1, at home, taking on the Tennessee Titans. They open up strong at home. The Titans are rebuilding, and like the Denver defense, they come out swinging. They beat the Tennessee Titans at home. Cam Ward's start of the season. Week number 2, they travel to Indianapolis. This one's tricky. On the road, Lucas Oil Stadium, the Colts team is going to be hungry. New ownership, general manager fighting for his job. Daniel Jones will probably be a starter. The Denver Broncos dropped this one, starting them 1-1 on the season. And then week number 3, they're back on the road, take on divisional foe, LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, and the new look Charger squad are too much right now, giving them that the second loss of the season. But then week number 4, they're back at home, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's the surprise. Broncos pull this big home upset. The defense clamps down, and the Bengals fall into a mile-high trap game. 2-2 through the first quarter of the season where I have the Denver Broncos. Not bad, but not great. Solid momentum early and moving forward. But weeks 5 through 9, the terrain gets rough. The games get rough. The travel gets rough. This could be a make-or-break point for the season for the Denver Broncos. And it starts in week 5 when they travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Too much firepower in an Eagle. This is a tough road stretch, and they get the first road loss of another road loss. Week 6, they travel across the pond to play the UK game versus the Jets. They're overseas, and I think the defense rallies just enough. When you go to overseas, defense wins games. Offense is not there. Defense wins games when you go overseas. The defense rattles Justin Fields just enough, and the Broncos win a weird one in London. And then week number 7, they come back home to take on the New York Giants. Guys, this is BS for the NFL. You travel over the pond, and you come back. Usually you have a bye week after you travel over the pond. The Broncos do not. At least they got a home game, but watch out for that overseas jet lag. I still think they beat the New York Giants and they rally at home late against them, but they do get the win. But week number 8, they're back at home yet again, take on the Dallas Cowboys. This one is just a little bit too much, and the Dallas gets the better of them here, giving them a loss. And then week 9, they travel down to Houston to take on the Texans. CJ Stroud puts on a show, and the Denver Broncos struggle to keep up offensively, giving them 2 losses in a row. So they are 4-5 through the first 9 weeks of the season, right around 500. But the second half of the season gets brutal. It does not get easy, much like the Raiders. Every time you look, you are looking at a playoff team. And it starts week 10 when you play the Las Vegas Raiders. They do get a big divisional win here, and they handle Vegas at home, but at a cost. Because at a cost comes week 11, back at home, take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes is Mahomes. Broncos keep it close, but they can't close the deal. Losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 12, much needed bye week, especially those overseas trips in the physical first half. But then it does not get easy at all. Week 13, they play the Washington Commanders at Washington. Washington's defense eat them up. Ugly, low-scoring loss for the Denver Broncos. Week 14, back on the road, take on the Vegas Raiders. A late-season collapse starts right here, and Vegas steals one back at home. 5-8, with 3 straight losses heading into a crucial week. Crucial week 15 through 18, they're trying to limp to the finish at this point. They're just not very good. Plus, they got a very, very tough schedule. Week 15, they're at home, take on the Green Bay Packers. It is a loss. Too much Jordan Love, too little from the Denver's offense. Another loss. No offensive firepower. The theme of the season, week 16. At home, take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They do get this win. They finally get the win, a bounce-back win. They control the game with their defense. The offense sucks. Week 17, at Arrowhead Stadium, take on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a loss. This one's not even close. The Kansas City Chiefs lock up playoff seeding, and they dominate the Broncos. Week 18, at home, take on the Chargers. Yet another loss. The Chargers come into Mile High Stadium and finish the job. The Denver ends the season with a thud. Guys, the Broncos finished the season 6-11. Not great, but an improvement from the 4 wins earlier 2 months ago. This defense could be legit. This defense could be a top 10 defense in the league, but the offense, too many question marks, especially in the wide receiver room. They're trash. Hell, I don't think they even have a wide receiver 1 still. You can say what you want about Cortland Sutton, he's not it. And the international travel, that's the real issue. The NFL failed the Denver Broncos by not giving them a bye week after London. That is not how you set up a team to succeed. So when you look at the floor and the ceiling for the Denver Broncos, 2 months ago, I had them as a 4-win team. After I watched them doing through camp training and like training camp, I did bump it up to 6 wins. The floor is still 4 wins if the injuries and offense sputters, but the ceiling is 9 wins if they overperform and steal a few divisional games. And they stay healthy. But guys, in the comments below, can the Denver Broncos finish with the winning record in year 2 underneath Sean Payton, or are we at least still away from year progress? Let me know in the comments down